Hello, my name is Diversai, and for the month of May we're going to be doing something a little bit different, and that's going to be creating a new player's guide to Legends of Runeterra. So as you all know, hopefully, a lot of what my channel focuses on is trying to help people do the hardest adventures with the least amount of power, basically, so no one feels like they have to spend money on Legends of Runeterra. It's good if you support the game that you love, so definitely do that. I buy every celebration bundle, but you shouldn't feel like you have to spend money. That's important to me. And so, every time a new champion releases, I beat a 5-star adventure with them at 3 stars, and with the Titans of Runeterra event, we went through and did a bunch of those adventures with 3-star champions using no epic relics. And the idea behind that is that if you're a new player, you're able to complete the content, and yeah. So, as an extension of that kind of philosophy, what I wanted to do was kind of start over from zero and see if I can beat every challenge in the game, or every adventure in the game, starting from nothing, without spending any money. And this is the guide from which we are going to go and try to accomplish that. If we can do the monthly adventures at the end, that would be cool. That'll depend on a lot of factors. So, yeah. To start with, we have the Legends of Runeterra new player guide spreadsheet, and here we have the name of your relics. So this is relic acquisition. Tab, we have the name of the relic, its rarity, how many you can have, how to acquire it, and how useful it is. This is obviously subjective, but this is how useful I feel they are. So like Armadillo Shell, I think is only usable in monthlies more or less, whereas Banshee's Veil you can use pretty much everywhere. And if a relic is particularly good on one or more champions, I have them listed here. So that's the idea behind this. Also where you get them. So some of these relics come from campaigns. So if you're a new player and you're looking to find Stalker's Blade, you know that you can get it from the Jinx campaign. And then we also have our epic relics. So if you are getting close to maybe having everything from the Golden Reliquary, this will also tell you to not continue trying. So like if you're trying to get Cease and Desist, you cannot get that from the Golden Reliquary, and there's no reason to try there. Also, apparently Yasuo's Windblade is unattainable according to the wiki. Yeah, so that is a thing. We also have our adventures here. This is going to be the name of the adventure, how to unlock it. I'm going to fill this in as I go through. So I think like Swift Scout starts unlocked, and then something like the Might of Demacia, you have to beat the Swift Scout to unlock. Something like that, I'm not exactly sure, but we'll fill that in as we go along. And then these are the requirements, so for any champions, and then the rewards, Bronze Vault, Wild Fragments, etc. And then we go down, and this is all of the adventures. Should probably add a 6.5 here. I might fill in the stars just generally, but not right now. I'll also, when I'm going through and defeating these, I will insert something like Jinx Day 1 or whatever. So I'll put the champion and what day we completed it on, so that people have an idea of what is possible and also what you should focus on in order to do things. We're also going to make a list for currencies, which I haven't built out yet. So we're going to list all of our currencies. It's going to be the champions, and basically what we're spending our Stardust on, what we're spending our Wild Shards on, that kind of thing. There's also quests. I haven't added any of them in yet. That's another thing that I'll fill in. It'll be easier when I'm actually going through it, but it's things like beat one adventure and you get this reward. So it'll be name thing you need to do and the reward for doing so, and then who we beat it with. We'll also fill out and what day as we go through this. I'm obviously gonna have to use 2 sheets. One of them will be up for everyone to use, and then another one will be the sheet that I'm filling in as I'm playing through the game, so that I can keep basically a log. And then hopefully every day, maybe every other day, depending on how busy I am in real life, the idea is going to be that I make a recap video of what we did that day, how we spent our currencies, what levels we got our champions to, and that kind of thing, so that people have a pretty straightforward guide onto how to go through the game and beat all the champions, or beat all the adventures, so that you can, quickly start up and really get into the game, or complete the game, depending on how you feel about that. So, yeah. And then, so we have the adventures here, and the rewards, requirements. So we've taken that and we've moved that over to the best champions. And this is what you need to complete all the adventures. So you only need doubles of a couple things. So Bilgewater you need 2 of. I think this happens more than once. Ionia you need 2 of. Runeterra you need 2 of. This is for the Fiddlesticks adventure. Maybe another one. And then Shadow Isles you need 2 of. And then, you need 16 total champions to beat Lysandra with. So this is kind of my plan for how we're going to go about it. And then also for relics, I just relisted all the campaign ones that you need, so that if you need to get those relics, you know where to get them. Some of these are going to be really important to get early. So like Vi, you may want more than 1 copy of Grand General's Counterplan, and you can't get a second copy until you get a first copy. So getting Vi up and able to do her 2-star campaign adventure is going to be important, even though we might not use Vi anywhere else. And same with Lux, but we'll use Lux. Yasuo, you might want more than 1 Riptide battery, maybe not though. And then Jinx, you do want a bunch of Stalker's Blades, that is very helpful. So yeah, this is kind of like the plan. If we get all these champions to like level 20 or 30 with these relics, then we can presumably beat all of the challenges, and that is kind of the goal of the sheet, just letting you know where we're aiming. And then some of these, for relics, I have no clue. And then Gale Force. We're not sure that we can get Gale Force, because it only shows up in the Emporium, and that's going to be a question of basically how we're using our Stardust to buy rare relics versus just earning them. And so questions like that are going to be, I think, the most interesting part of what we're doing here. And we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so these are alternatives. So like if we do end up getting a bunch of wild fragments for Aulilia instead of Ari, maybe we go that path. If we get them for LeBlanc instead of Ambessa, we'll go that path. And yeah, that is the idea behind this sheet. So we're going to fill in with quests and also currencies, and I'll go through and say like I said, how what I did yet on each day, how I spent my currencies, what levels I got to, which adventures I beat. Some of it's going to be repetitive. It's going to be like, I did an easy adventure to gain levels. So XP is going to be kind of one of the main challenges, just the amount of time it takes to actually go through adventures and gain XP over the month, since we're going to want at least 16, but probably more, champions. Especially if we're trying to do monthly challenges, then we need at least 24 champions to be a reasonable level, so that we can do those challenges and then show how I would start the game if I were starting today. And that is the plan for May. And I'm probably not going to do much else in May other than focus on this. If new adventures come out with the patch, I don't know what I'm gonna do then. It's gonna be very difficult to fit that time in with everything else, and also with like monthly challenges. I'm obviously gonna make that spreadsheet so everyone can follow that, but I'll probably do like no commentary on the spreadsheet or on the videos so that people have something to watch if they need to watch. But overall, I don't want to spend too much time on that because I want to be focused on this. So, also things like when do you unlock nightmare adventures? Like that should be one of the primary concerns in my opinion, because when you unlock nightmare adventures, that gives you an extra source of gold vaults, which helps build your character up. So all of that is going to be stuff that we go through, and I think it'll be a fun journey. I'm pretty excited about it, and hopefully this will be something that people can look back on even in like a year or 5 years, and hopefully the game's a lot different then. They can look back and say, well, this is at least a guide for how to go about beating adventures as a new player. And that is the goal. So that is all for me for today. Tomorrow, again, we're going to have the monthly challenge guide coming up. And then starting May 1st, we're going to make a new account and talk about all of that. So you're going to see a lot of spreadsheets in the future. Hopefully I'll make them a little more interesting. Maybe I can fit like gameplay in the side of the window over here or something, so that you can at least watch something instead of just looking at the spreadsheet. Although, I don't know. There's something about just raw data that is compelling to me. But maybe it's not for everyone else. We'll see. But yeah, that is all for me for today. Hopefully you guys are excited about this. I'm pretty excited about this. And I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.